Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I'm going to make the login and registration form with validation and set the hash password when you do the login validation using Spring Boot and front-end application using Angular. Okay, let me see the demo first. So here, this is a demo. First I'm going to register the new user. I'm going to go to the registration form. This is a registration form. I'm going to register register as Jill Jillback. Jillback. You have tried Jillback 123. Click register. Employee register successfully. Now let's back to our login. Okay, let's do the login. Okay, now here I'm going to type Jillback. Here I'm going to type the relevant password. If there is any error with the password, here type incorrect email and password not match. Okay, right. If you are type the email wrong, here email wrong, click register button. Here email not exist, the error will be displayed. If you are correct, type with the correct username and password and click register, click login, it goes to the welcome page. Okay, this is not a register page. You have to, this one you have to change this name as login. So give 1 minute, I'll be change it. Accidentally put it there login, this one login. Right, now here it will login. Okay, now here you type Jillback, type 123, click login, it goes to the welcome page. Okay, this application how to do step by step we'll teach today. Okay, let me go to the backend part, which is starting from the Spring Boot application. Hi friends, welcome to Tutors Funny channel. Today I'm going to make the Spring Boot application registration form and login. So using RESTful API. So how to set the registration form with the hash password. Okay, how to set the hash password mean how to give the security, right? So let's check it. First I'm going to register the user. So this is the API we have set it. First we have run the project and we set the API on Postman. If you are not installed the Postman tool, you have to install that, right? Here we have set tested the backend. So now here, first I'm going to save the record. Click send. Here record has been saved. Okay, now if you want to see the records, back to your IntelliJ application. Here this is the employee table. Double click on this one. Now you can see here, and this is the email address I have set it, the name, and this is the hash password. Okay, now the hash password will be set. Okay, this is the hash password. Now let me test the login. So here when you log in, we don't need this field, only we have tested login. Say API login. Right, we'll test it. Okay, so here if I enter the another 2, let's send it. Here password not match, status false, right? So now let's type the correct password and test that. Here login success, it's working. Now if you are type the email address, right? If you are type any other email, if you are click any other things here, additional A I have entered and set it again. Here email not exit. Okay, so this kind of validation, how to set it. Okay, we'll teach step by step. Right, now let's back to our IntelliJ application. Right, now I'm going to create the new Spring Boot application. So I'm going to type Spring Boot, Spring Initializer. You get it, this one. Click on this. Here, this is the where we have configured our project. So first we have to click on the Maven project Maven. I need Maven with Java language Java. So here Spring Boot application they are set it as this one defaultly. We select as it is, right? So here Spring Boot, here we have to group I have set it here as example, right? Here name only we have given here as we just give the name here as registration login, register login. I give the name, right? So here this is the package com example register login. Okay, here this one should be 8. Java 8. I have installed in our machine Java 8. Here you have, if you are installed, I have recommended the Java 8 is a stable version. You have download them, right, and install them. After that, you have set the dependency. Click add dependency. Here, first I'm going to add the dependency as JPA. Second one, I'm going to add it here as web. Sorry, web we no need then. JPA. Second one should be the MySQL. We need a MySQL. Here we have to add as a web as well. Okay, we need this one also well. After that, we have security. Security, Spring security. This one as well. This all the dependency we need there, right? After that, click generated. Now you have here the file will be downloaded. Now we have to configure it, right? We have to open on the IntelliJ IDEA. So here go show. I just cut off this one back to my F drive. Here I'm going to paste it. Right click, extract file, click OK. Right now the application is this one. Now this one I will open on the IntelliJ IDEA. So go to the IntelliJ. You have to open them. Open. Where we have put it as F drive, which name is registration and login. When you open the file, be careful how to open. I'll be teach you. Okay, so here what's the name? Registration. Register login here. Don't open, click and open. Okay, don't open this way. Here inside this folder we are expanding. Inside the folder where there is a folder which is created login, register login. Click on this folder and open it. Okay, I have opened, right? Trust project. I'm going to open a new window. Go through that project guidance so that I open on the new terminal. So here you have to wait that here so all the dependencies get installed. You don't do anything else. It will be getting the whatever dependency you have put it here on the pom.xml. So all the dependency will be configuring here. Here dependency here. So don't close it. You have to wait until the dependency get installed. After install them, you can have this folder. Okay, here all the dependencies get all them. You will be able to expand it. This is your project. Here, go to the form.xml. Here, all the dependencies is installed. Here you can see here whatever dependency you are selected here, JPA and security and web MySQL connector. These are the dependencies you have selected. Okay, the security must be we select as a select login. This one, okay, we have security is needed. This dependency also needed, right? So if you want to add the another dependencies, if you are forgot to add the dependencies over here, how to add the dependencies? You type whatever your MySQL. Okay, okay. I take the example of MySQL. If you are forgotten to add the dependencies, so how to get them? Maven. You type mbn. MySQL. Sorry, mbn, not mbvn. It goes to dependency here. It goes to the respective dependency page. MySQL connect here. Here you can get the version, right? So you just don't get the new one. Latest one you have to get at least by this one. To get it, here you have to select the dependencies, copy it, and paste it on the pom.xml file. Go and have it here. You just paste it over here. Then it will be applied, right? So it applies. So here you just paste it. Will be check here. This kind of loading bar will be there here. You click on this one, it will be applied, right? It's already there. That's why it will be taking error. Okay, it's already there, right? Perfect. Right. Now let's go to the project. Right. First, I'm going to go to src main Java. Inside the Java, we have our registration login. This is our main method of Java. This is the main method. It is reside on the src main Java. This is a package. It will be defaultly. It will be installed. Right. Now here first I'm going to create a new controller. So right click, new package. This one should be the controller. So first, what is the controller? I'm doing employee controller. Employee controller. Right. I'll give the name as here employee controller. Sorry. Controller. Right. The employee controller has been created. Now we have to add the another things, DTO, an entity, right? Repo service, right? You have to create these following packages. Second package is DTO. Third one is entity, entity, depend DTO employee controller entity. Another package we need is service. After that, repo. Here we have to select the your query will be working. Repo. Repo is the part where I communicate with the database, right? So here, right? So the controller, it will be managing the project. So another one is we have to forget it. Just a config. This one should be the must. Right. Perfect. Okay, these are the packages you must create it. Right. Now, first what I am going to do is controller. Right click here. Oh, your class, you have to write a class here. The class, select the class. This class you have to write as employee controller. Right. So empty controller. Now we have to add the annotation. This following annotation we have to add it. We go to the employee controller. REST controller cross origin. Okay, it will be, this one should be must when you are connect with the front-end application. Request mapping. This is the API we are setting. Okay, this is a RESTful API. So you have to implement the REST controller. So this in Spring Boot, how to manage their all the project structure, they are implement the annotation. So it's simple. This is the RESTful API. So you have to write the at the RESTful API. So you have to write REST controller. You have to implement it here. After that, this one work for the front end part. If you connect the front end, okay, this is a back end. Is a cross origin is must. Second one, third one should be the request mapping. Why we implement this annotation? This annotation we are implement the here where we have to add the RESTful API request. Okay, so we have to set the path. So here like this. You have to. This is the correct way you add it. You have to write like this. API, which this one you have to write slash version. This is employee. Right, employee means this is how we have write the request. Okay, right, the like this here. Right, this one should be the port. What is the port you are setting? Right, so we have talk it little bit later on this one. We have to understand so far. This is must. Right. After that, employee controller. What I'm going to do is here. First, I'm going to create the function. So how to create the functions? First, you have to write this like this. Postman, this function. Right. So I'll write here. I just copy and paste it. So here, because it takes too much of time to complete it otherwise, right? So first you have to write postman. A postman. This is post request. Postman. Post mapping. Because we are posting the values. When you save the record, we are posting the values. Okay, so we are write the post mapping. When you get the values from the database, that is get mapping. So the postman path save. When the request is coming like save here. If you write save here, when the request is saved, I already saw this one. Record will be saved in the database. So we have to write a save here. So you have to write implement the functions public string save employee body request. We have to get the details from the DTO. We have the employee DTO. Here we haven't created this class, so we have to show this red mark, right? Right. Okay. We get the details from where employee DTO. Right. Now first, I'm going to create the entities. Right. So entity. After that, we have to create the DTO. Right. Entity class. But select as employee. Right. Employee as employee name. So address. So employee name. Username, password. Right. The 3 fields enough. If you want more field, you have to add it. Okay. Employee name, first name, last name, mobile number, age, all the whatever, you can add it. Okay. In this example, I added this 3. Okay. If you want, you add it. Right. So before that, you have set like this. If it is entity, you have set this called annotation entity and table. Right. What is a table? You have to create on the database. Right. So here you have to add the, you have to call the entities here, this annotation. Okay, right? I just copy and paste it. You have to write yourself. Okay. So how to write it here? Simply have to annotation entity. You have to get it then here. Click on here, get them. Right? You have to get them here. If you import it, it is coming. Okay, if I copy and paste it, it asks red mark because we have to implement the package. So here, how to implement the package? Alt plus enter. Then it asks to import the class. This is a class inside of the package. It will import. Right? Okay. That's it. Okay, this is how we have implement the annotation. Okay, this is a table name employee. Why this table name? The database table is all the records should be saved in our database table. So the table name I have here, here I have implemented here as employee. The employee, this employee name in our database tables will be created. Right. Now here I'm going to create the this following attributes. What are the attributes student has? So here, let's copy it and paste it. I'll be explained. Don't worry. First here ID, right? ID. So here you have to implement the annotation here ID. Here, so write ID. You get the ID, right? Okay, ID. After that column. So here, while not press enter key, then only the all things are classes are important, right? So this is a column. Column. This is a column where in our database. So it will be auto increment employee ID. Its length I given as 45. Generate value here set as generation type auto mean when the record is added, the employee ID will be added automatically. So we have set like this, right? Length I have set it 45. This is the attribute I have set at employee ID. This is the column database column name. This is our form, our RESTful API we have sent like this employee ID, right? Okay, this one second column I'm going to set employee name. Employee name we have to create in our database table. Employee name look like this. Okay, so here if you want to store here, so here the example here, right here, the earlier example I show you this one, right? In our form field, this RESTful API we have to write like this. Okay, your form field, you are set it here, you write like this. Okay, this is a form field. This is the database we have set it. Okay, right? That's how we have created. Okay, right? So database we have created employee name. Given the length, this is the length. This is the employee name. Second, third one is email and password. These are the attributes we have set, right? So this is ID field, so that we have to give the annotation ID. This is a column. This is the auto increment. These three things we have set it to the ID. Rest of the column we have only one annotation is there, column. We have given the column name only. What's the column in your database? This record should be added. You have to given here, right? Now let's add the constructor and parameter constructor and empty constructor and get and set method and string function. These are must. Okay, these all the values we are getting to the outside. We need that function. So right click. So this one right click. You don't need to type it. There's generate. Here generate constructor. First, to all things, all on shift key down and select all. Okay, you're getting all the construct values. So constructor. The values are coming via the constructor. Here employee name, email, password like this. Right. Second one, right click, generate constructor. This is none constructor. None. The empty constructor. After that, you have to implement the get and set method. Right click, generate get and set method. Select all the things. So we need a get and set method here. All get and set method will be selected. Right? What happened? Here, set it. Okay. Right. After that, we need another one. Right click, generate. We need this one string, toString method also we need. Click OK. Right. Perfect. This is how we have at the entities. Okay. This the entity will be calling to the database, right? Add the data into the database. So here, right. Now what I'm going to do is I need a DTO. DTO part, right? DTO, I'm going to create this all things. We need only the DTO class, new class, this employee DTO, right? Employee DTO. Here we need only the things. We no need to do this all the things. We copy it. Just copy this on the things. You have to paste it the DTO. Nothing to do it. Only the values we need. These all things we no need it. You have to cut it. This only the things. Here we are not creating the table and only the passing the values. So we have to do the DTO also, like this. Simple. Okay. DTO. This is how we have created DTO. Employee DTO. Right. The DTO also we have to set the all things. But things, right click, generate. We need a constructor. All the constructor select and okay. After that we have to select the uh, uh, get and set method and empty constructor. You have to get the empty constructor none. After that you have to write the get and set method as well. So right click, generate get and set method as well. Select all and get and set method as well. Right. After that we have need a string also. Right click, strings function also need. Generate string. That's it. That's the thing here, right? Okay. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, now we have a DTO. Now here when the customer comes, here this employee DTO is there. It's a DTO. Okay, first what you're going to do is you have to import the class. So you have to select here, Alt enter mean. Yeah, I just copy and paste it so that you are coming here like this. Here, when the request is coming via DTO, these are the records. Okay, so it goes to the DTO, right? So DTO, so we have to DTO. DTO we have create the here this is object. We have to create the employee object DTO. Right here we have to write. We have to call it here. So this one, what is the requests are coming when the postman is coming to the controller. So here when the request is coming, save. It's coming to the controller. Put it here and passing to here. Okay. So here it go to the it's calling the employee service at the employee method. So now we didn't write the employee service and all. So now I'm going to go to create the employee service here. You have to try to create a class employee service. So here what's the class employee service? Right, the employee service. Right. So the employee service class. Employee service. Sorry, employee service is not a class. Sorry for that. This one, service, select this one, new Java class, employee service is not a class, which is an interface. We are calling this interface. Only we can't do anything, only we have to declare the method only, this interface, right? This interface, right? The interface, we have to, this one, okay, employee service, right? Employee service. So the employee service, we have to call the annotation, auto-aware annotation also we have to call. Right? So how to declare the annotation? This one. Auto-aware. Sorry. Here. Not here, this inside the class. Right. Auto-aware. Right. So we have employee services there. So it will be here. Right. Employee service. So employee service, you write here. Employee service, this one here. So employee service class, employee service. The same name you write employee service, right? Right. Now here we have to create the method. You don't need to create. Click on here. Create method should be there. Click on this. It will be created here. Okay. It automatically create the method. You don't need to create it one. Okay. Right. Perfect. It's working perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to do is it's working perfect. No problem. Right. Now after that, what you're going to do is I'm going to select the service. I'm going to create the another package which is a IMPL. It's an implementation. IMPL. Right? Here we have to create another class which is a employee IMPL. Right? Employee IMPL. select the package, new class, you have to create as employee IMPL. You have to create the class like this. Now this IMPL class is created successfully. Now I have to implement this interface, employer interface, right? So you have to write the key, you have type implements employee service. You have to get this class, right? So this class getting. Now it is not a error. It asks to implement this method. We have to return the method, but we just implement the method only. We have to work through this method here, right? So click on here this bulb icon, implement this method, click OK, right? It is implemented successfully, right? Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the records into the database, right? So before that, now this is the flow we are working. Control it is throwing the record to service. Service will be passing the record to repo. So repo also we have to get the repo as well. So you have to write class employee repo. This is also the interface. What a class is interface. You have to get repo interface. Right. Now here what I'm going to do is this interface. I'm going to implement these annotations. What are the annotations? Enable JPA repository and repository. We have to implement these two annotations, which will be managed in the repository part. Right. After that, we have to write extend. You have to write like this. This class, this interface, you have to write the extends keyword, extends JPA repository. Here, employee, which is entity. Here, this first one should be integer mean. This is ID. What's the ID in the entity? What is the type? It's an integer type. This is integer type. You have to write the integer type, int type. So you have to, what's the ID? It's a primary key. What is the primary key you have set it? If it is integer, you have to set here as integer. That's why you have to select as integer. So here it asks to import the entity. So select this one, or enter, it import the class. Right, that's it. If you're writing, you just step by step you have to write extend or JPA repository employee integer, right? Okay, if I return and explain it, they take too much of time to complete this project. Okay, now here what I'm going to do is that's it. That's the thing you have to write. Okay, that's the thing we have to write. Right. Now let's back to my IMPL. Here I have to call our repo. So your repo, we have to auto-wait. We have to write here is repo. You have to write auto-wait. You have to write this repo. This class is repo. You have to write like this. So here it is employee repo. It asks simply the class. Right, perfect. Right, it's perfect. Now what I'm going to do is here, employee MB, here we have to return the null. You have to write here. I'll be explaining, don't worry. Just copy and paste it and I'll be explaining, don't worry. Right. Now here what I did here is, right. So here, this class, I have to return the employee. Employee means this is entity. Employee class entity. You have to create the object employee, new employee. We have to create the object employee, right? The employee class, this is employee class. We have to use this all the properties. Okay, ID should be auto increment. We don't need them. We need employee name, email, and password, right? We have to type like this, employee name, password. So here the same thing, it will be coming to the employee service here. So the data is coming from the DTO, employee DTO. So this is employee DTO. So employee DTO. So you have to write this employee DTO. So employee DTO object here, employee DTO, right? It's coming here. Get the details and set into the entity. So how to set the entity employee? This entity we have to create the object employee. This GTO object dot get employee ID, employee name. So we have another field which is a password. The password should be, what is the password? This encoder, we have to set the hash password. So we have to write the password encoder. So this one, this class also, we have to add this annotation. Okay, so write private password encoder, So here this class you have to write Okay, then only we have to add the encode password. So when we are not set the password uh, like normal password you can't set. You have to write a security password. Okay, so you have to call private password encoder password hash password. You have to password encode. So you have to write this password encoder encode whatever password you type, it will be encoded and save it. That's the thing you have to write. After that, click save button. It will return back to the get employee name. So okay, this is a get employee name. So you have to just get employee name. This name get employee name. Employee class there the property. Why it's not getting get employee name? So you have tried the get employee. What is the name? Sorry, we have to implement this class. That's why it's there. Right. Employee get employee name. Right. Okay. Right. Perfect. This one you'll get it right. The detail, the employee ID, employee name. This one should be auto increment. This one employee name, employee address, email address, password. You set it and it's called the repo. This repo employee repo also here you have to auto where dot save method. There's in repo there's a default method which save. You have to call this employee object over here. Record is saved. The record is coming via the DTO. It's set into the entity. After that, it's all the record will be saved in the entity object. Entity object you are calling to the repo, right? It will be saved. The repo is a part where I communicate the database and add the record into the database. After that, it will be returned back to the message employee get employee name. But the employee name you are written here, it will be getting. If you have the ID also passed, your ID also you can get it. Okay, this is the thing. The record is added. Okay, very simple. Right now, let's save all. Right. Right now, let's we go to the resources folder application property. Here we have to configure our database connection. Right. So do you not need this all the source code I provide you? Don't worry. Here the application property. Here I just copy and paste here. The application properties here we have configure all the database configuration. Okay, so here Spring Boot application name. This is our registration login. I just give that project name, right? This is the port where we are running the server. So okay, if you want to change the port, I'm going to change the port as 98090. This is the port where my project need to run. So we have to set the port like this. Here JPA Hibernate select at create. So in the first time we have create the database, you have create. This one should be our MySQL driver. You have to specify the MySQL driver, right? After that, Spring data source. Here your database connection you have given here. This is the port in our localhost. This is our database I have created. Whatever name I'm going to get the name as DB Office. This is a database name I have to create. Create database. If not exit true. Okay, the simple code. Okay, this is the while you installing the uh, MySQL workbench. Okay, what is the username and password you are given? You have to write like this. Okay, you have to the MySQL workbench. If you are not installed MySQL workbench, you have to install the MySQL workbench. Here we have to connect with the databases, right? MySQL workbench. You have to install that, right? Okay. After that, you have to write this simple JPA configuration. You have to write like this. Okay, this is all the source code I provide you. You just copy and paste it. You have to understand what is here. This code only have to work. This is a default JPA configuration. When you install the MySQL connection, this is the database I have created. This is username and password you set, right? This database I haven't created it. Now I'm going to create a database. Okay, so this is simple stuff. Now let's create the database. So all things I will delete right here. Let's run and check whether it's working fine or not. Go to the controller. Now let's run the project. Now you can see here the database is created. The table has been all things are here created. Here create the tables. You can see here, right? So you can see check. After that, what you're going to do is you have to go to the database section. Your database. You are not do anything else. You have to create the database. Okay, so here click on here database, data source. Here, what is the name here we given? application property. This is DB office. So go to the database here. You can see the database. Click on this data source. You have to get the database MySQL. So localhost, username is root, password is root 123, database is DB office. You can check the connectivity. Connection success. Okay, connection success, right? Click apply. Okay. Now you can check the database. This is a database configuration. Your table. Here's a table which is an employee. These are the following. These are all the things created successfully. Right? Okay. Right. This is how you have created the everything. Right. Now let's do the another thing is we no need have any problem. Let's test that whether record is added or not. Right. Now you can see here the port. What is the port you are given here? 8090 is the port. Okay. So if you are not download the Postman, you download the Postman. You type HTTP. You select here as a post request. So here HTTP slash localhost. Here you specify the port. What is the post you are given? After that, this one should be the API. How to get this API? You have set it here. You can see here. Here this is the API. You have set it here. API version employee. This V1 being the version. Okay, this is must. This is the efficient way to set the API. Slash when the request is coming save, it goes to the it goes to save method here. What does is first get the record from the DTO and in passing to the service. Service will be passing to the repo. Okay, that's how the flow is working. Now let's check. Okay, before that we have a do anything else here. The config, we have to create the configuration part. So the password security, here we have a separate configure password here. This one, we go to the IMPL. You can see here we have implement the password encoder. So we have to add the config. We have create the package. We have to new add a class. You type config security config. You have to create the class. So that purpose here we have to give the we have to import the class. So you have to write like this. You have to talk the bean. You have to set the bean here. Bean password encoder. You have to set this password encoder here. Here we have to import the class. You have to type like this. Okay. Bean password encoder. You have to type password encoder. Right. Okay. Right. You have to type like this. Password encoder. This one. Okay. Return this password. Okay. So then only now you can see and check. Here also you can check here the configuration. You have to write the configuration here. Configuration annotation. You have to write configuration. This annotation. This is the configuration. This is the configuration annotation. Now let's run and check. Now it's working. Now it's working. You can see this. Now it's working. Now let's test it whether it's the coding is working or not. Right now, what I'm going to do is we have already see this is our localhost. This is a port where we running our service. So which port? You can go to the project. You can see inside the application property. This is a port we set it. Okay, so localhost that post and employee control. This is a URL API version employee. So employee version employee the save method. You can see the save method, right? So let's try on this. Click on this. Go to the body. Here it's working, right? Now let's go and check it. The database. Double click on this. Here it's working. Okay, the password will be created here like this. Okay, now perfect. It's working perfectly well. Now if there are any problem while create this security, so here go to the main method registration login application. You have to write like this. Spring Boot only this annotation will there. This is the main class, our main class. Here you have to write this exclude Spring auto the security auto configuration class. We have to write like this. You have to get excluded. Then it's work, right? If there any problem while you get it, right? Okay, you have to implement this one. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Right. Now, after that, we have to start with the login. Now let's start the login. So first login, the entity also the same entity. So here we have a DTO. We have in login, we have to create the different DTO. New class. This one should be the login DTO. So to get the login DTO, right? Class. Here you have to write. You have to implement this following method. Here only. We need only do these two fields. Okay, this DTO go through this fields. Okay, this DTO as we have these two fields have email and password only we are checking. So then what you are going to do is we have to write first you have to add a constructor. So generate constructor, hold on shift key down and select both. Or the empty constructor, you have set the empty constructor. After that, your get and set method, you generate the get and set method. After that, you have set the string value. Right click, generate string, toString method. That's it. That's the thing you have to write. Okay. After that, you have to go to the controller, employee controller. You have to write, you have to implement this one, this method when the request is coming. Right. I just copy and paste it and I'll be explained. Don't worry. This course code I provide you. You write post mapping path login. If you type like this, login, it goes to the login function. Okay. Right here, this one, you have to write public response entity. You have to write the response. This is a response. You have to get the response. Right. Whether password is succeed or not. Okay. You have to write the login function. Request body this DTO. You have to import this DTO. So you write this alt and you have to import the class. Already have. If any red shown, you have to right click on here, press alt and enter, it will be gone. Okay, so here this login message if we haven't created this class. Okay, employee service and check it, login employee. Okay, so here we have to create the class. This one we have to create. Click on this, create the employee service. Right, login, it will be created. Now what you are going to do is here, go to the IMPL. So IMPL section, you have to import it. Here, click on here, implement the method. Click, the method will be imported. Here, it will be imported successfully. Now what I'm going to do is here we have to login message. The message will be displayed. Okay, so we have to create simply this section, response section, payload response, right? So here write this one, message, login message. So here write here go right here. What you're going to do is we have to go to here. I'm going to create another package. Select this one and the package you have to create. Response. Here you have to create the class login response. I get login response. The login response, right? Now here what I'm going to do is here we have to this class we have a two message and status, right? You have to create. Here also you have to import the get and set method. So generate constructor, we have two argument constructor, we have to pass the empty constructor as well. Generate empty constructor none. After that you have to generate the get and set method. After that you have to set another one thing is toString. Select this one, generate toString method. Also we have to implement these all things. Perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to do is this one login response. You have to go to the controller. This one login response. But you have to mark. You have to import the class or present. Okay. Login response, right? The login response, right? So here the same thing name. We have to given here. These are also login response. 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 You have to create this. Response. The same thing. Copied. This one also copied and paste it over here. Login response. This class. Use the IMPL also. Login response. Okay, login response, right? Login response, right? Login response. So login response. Sorry, login response. Right. Login response. Here the same thing. I service also login response. Right. Perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to do is here I'm going to check it. Right. So how to check it? IMPL. So login checker. Just copy it and paste. I will be explaining. Don't worry. Okay. Right. Now here what I'm going to do is this on all the things are login response. Right. Here what I did here is here when the URL coming to the controller here login it's goes the you get the details only employee DTO coming this only email and password passing to this controller get them receive them and passing to the where service employee service login method. So it goes to the login method over here. Okay, method here. This one will be passing to the implementation here. Now here get the data and you have to check it. First you have to create the variable message. Employee. You have to write employee one. You have to create the employee one object. Here we have to go and check the repo. So repo, go to the employee repo. Here we have these two things. We have to copy and this one we have to paste it. Our repo which has the repo here created, paste inside here. Right. So in repo, you have to write optional employee. You have to find one by email and password. Okay. What is the password coming from the DTO? You have to pass it here and check it. Okay. This is the simple select story. After that, we have to separately we have to check the email also whether the email is valid or not. Find email. Right. So here let's back to our IMPL. So here you check here. But you have to check repo find email. Here the email is valid. The email is valid email. It's go and check here this one. If it is not null records, here our what is the password you are getting password encode password you have to get the encode password. You have to write here boolean password right here write encoder match. You have to start with your match password encode match. You have to write like this. And here we have to check it if the username and password valid or not. Optional employee repo find what is the email I getting and password. If it is match, if it is present mean there is a function which is a present. The password is username and password those are match, login success, otherwise login failure, right? Login fail. Okay, right? Okay, after that, if the ID password not match, it will be passing error password not match. If there is any error of the email this email is not valid here, first you have to check the email first. If the email is not valid, it will be written the message as email is not exist. Okay, we have put the message as right. Now let's test that. Again we have to run the query and check it. Right, now I am going to add the new record. Here I am going to add the James. You have write James Gmail. Here password is this, right? Now let's send record added. Now I'm going to test that through login. Here you have to write login, right? Login. test whether it's working fine or not. Click send button. Here record is success. So here this both record is matched. It will be returning the message login success. If there any problem with the email not access, here you can see here. First you have to we validate the email. Then only if the email is exist only it will be go and check the password. So it will be written email is not exist, right? If their username and password fail, it will be working here login fail. So here if you are writing there here sorry but right now if you write the password wrong, you can see here password not match. Okay, password not match. Right here it's working. It's a login success. It's very simple. This is how we have make the simple login and we make the login and registration page using the hash password. All the source code I provide you. Thank you for watching. Backend part we successfully completed using the Spring Boot application. How the registration and login works. Now let me do the front end part. So this is my backend part. I'm going to create another folder which is a front end. Okay, right. This one I'm going to name it as Angular login registration. I make the folder right. Inside here I'm going to create the Angular project. So I'm going to type cmd command. Now here I'm going to go to the respective website for install the Angular. So you have to type on Google Angular CLI. Click on this first link. First you have to configure the Angular. So you have to copy this one back to your command prompt plus enter key on your keyboard. Right. First you have to configure the Angular CLI, which used to configure your project. Right. First time you have to use it. After configure the Angular CLI, we have to create the new project. So this is the command which you use to create the new project. Control C to copy. Right click and paste it. Here I'm going to give here as I'm going to give here instead of that here to view the project as front end app. Right, press enter key. Right, you have to wait until you have to yes. Here you have to select as SCSS. Get the help of your up arrow. You have to press the up arrow key on your keyboard. You have to select as SCSS. Press enter key on your keyboard. You have to wait until your package all the dependency get installed on Angular program. Right. My Angular is installing successfully. You will be able to see here. Right. I am going to open it on our VS Code editor. So you go inside the folder. So here what I am going to do is this is a folder name. Okay. So you type CD. You type front end app project. Your type. You change it. Press enter key on your keyboard. Now you are going inside this project. Now I am going to solve the project. I am going to open it on the VS Code editor. Okay, this is the professional editor for writing the front-end application code. Okay, so backend we have developed in the IntelliJ. Front-end we are developing in the VS Code. Right now here I'm going to open it. Code space dot. All the project will be open on the VS Code editor. Very simple. Decide. Yes, trust. Perfect. Now what you are going to do is after get the project in your VS Code editor. Now you have a source. This is a package. All things are there. Now I'm going to go to run this project. Let me run it. So here we have run over here. ng serve. This is very fast. You have run it over here. ng serve. Now it will be configure the port and everything here over here. Right? What is this? This is not an error. It will be. This is a warning display. I have installed the Node.js latest version. Right? That's why it will be telling that your Node.js version is this. Right? Now you have to wait until the port configured. The first time only it will be take some time. After that it will be run perfectly. Here, this one I already running and show the. I already run one project. That's why it show the error. I just copy this one. I have closed it. Right now, right, I'm going to close it. Then that's why the problem. Right now again I'm going to run it. I already run one Angular project. That's why it will be telling that already this port is running. Okay, so I have again running. I close that port and I am running. Here now the generate the browser application. Now it will be configure the port and everything. Right. Now you have get the port. You just copy this line, paste it over here, press enter key on it here. The welcome page of the Angular is running perfectly well. Now what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to go to open on the VS. I already opened the project on VS Code. This is the folder structure. This, if you are going inside the src folder, there's index.html. This is the main file. Okay, here this is the main file. So this app pro, it's running. Where the app pro, this is the app pro. Here it goes to the app component.html. This is the welcome page of display. Okay, this page is calling to the TS file. The TS file is called in the app pro. This app pro we are calling to index.html here. That's why it's running down. Right. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the HTML. Here I'm going to remove all the things. Keep only the route outlet. Okay, then only the route is working. Otherwise the route not working. If all the things I don't need them, you all check. Only keep route outlet. This is must when the route is working, right? Now here I just test it. I'm going to type hello only. File save all and back to our browser and check. Here it's always display. Perfect. Right, perfect. Application working perfect. Now I'm going to go to create a new component. So how to create a new component? Although this project is running on here, I'm going to get the another terminal. So how to get another terminal here? This is your project directory. Inside the project here, this is the project. Inside the project, you have to open another terminal. This terminal you have to create the new component. How to create the new component? ng generate create the new component is register component. Press enter key. Right now your register component is begin creating. Now your component has been created successfully. Now I'm going to create another component. So that component is the same thing. ng this one ng command generate. This is a stand for generate. Short form we have to write G. This is a create. Short form we have written as C. Here you have to write here as login. This component which is a login component, right? Okay, we have to create two different components. First is the login component, register component. Second is the login component, right? Now let's back to our project. Let's check whether the two components are created or not. Now you can see here the two different components created. Login. This one should be the register. The simple blank component, right? Here, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a simple form, registration form, right? So registration form, you simply go to the Google and type Google. You just type Bootstrap registration. Here you will be able to get the some form. Look, okay. No need this one. You just type Bootstrap form. Yes, a blank form will be there. You just copy and paste this command, right? You just copy and paste this command. You just copy it, paste it over here. Registration form. I'm going to remove another stuff. All the things I remove it. Only I keep input box only. These all the things we don't need them. Label only we need a label. Label also we need label name. This is email. This one all the things we don't need them. Right? Okay. Right, we don't need them. This all the things we don't need them. Right. Okay. Now here first what I'm going to do is this one should be the name. Employee name. This is name. After that second, this one copy and paste it below. This one should be the email. This is the email. This is the text. Name means this is a text box. The email. Third one should be copy and paste it below. This one should be our password. This is a password. There's actually password. Here also password field. This is a password field. So email. It's a password. Place for the password. Right. That's it. Now we need to have one button which is a submit button. Right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to our registration. Right. We need one button which is a on click method. Okay. On click. Right. So on click. Right. Here we have a in button we have one method which is a on click. So when you click this button, what happen? When you click this submit button, what happen? You submit, you have write register. Okay, it is goes to the our TS file, registration TS file. This is the file where we are doing all the logics. Logics mean all the codes we are doing in Angular. They are separate file which is a TS file. This is called as a extension TS file, right? So here we are doing the another things. Okay, before that, let's go to our app module.ts. First, we have to import the forms and everything. Then only we have to uh, do the form configuration part. So here, this one, I just get these two things. You have to import this. I all the source code provide you. First, you have to import forms module. Here, if you write like this, it asks to import the class. Click the bulb symbol and add it. Right. Now HTTP client, this also bulb symbol, it won't come to that particular class. What you're going to do is, I'll be provide the path where the HTTP is resided in Angular. This is the path. You just copy. I just copy and paste. This calls for I provide you here. This is resided. This HTTP client model, which is resided the class. In this is a predefined Angular available. HTTP client model from Angular common HTTP. It is available there. That's it. That's the thing you have to do it. Right. Now after that, now let's go to the registration form. Now here we have to write the when you type the values. So you have to import these two things is must Angular. Right. So bootstrap class, so ID, all the things. These three things I need them. Right. Now here, first what I'm going to say ng model. Okay, this is a two-way binding. Okay, we have used the two-way binding to store the value. Right. When the form is there, you have to enter some data. If it is a first name, you have to enter. It will store as a ng model. Okay, so this option you have to do it. Given here, ng model option standalone true. Then only it will be the value will be stored in this particular input box. Okay, this is a bootstrap style. Right. Now it's the same thing. This one should be name. Say employee name. Second one should be email. So you have to copy this one, paste it over here. This one should be email. Third one should be this name. ID is not right. Sorry. Right. Third one should be this one. IDs we have to make it as this email. Third one should be the same thing I just copied. Paste it over here. Third one should be password. So password. Right. We have written. Right. Now here what I'm going to do is this all the variables we have to create on the TS file, registration TS file. So how to do the task? Very simple. You write like this. TS file. So first, don't worry, I'll be teaching. You have to create the variable look like this. Yourself. You have to write employee name, string data type, it's a blank. Email, string data type, blank. Password, string, it's a blank data type. So these are the variables you have to set it here. Employee name, email, and password. When the form is when you type the email at employee name, email, and password, it will be getting storing in this variable. It is passing the TS file over here. It will be stored over here, right? After that, what you're going to do is here, I'm going to create the when you click the save button, it goes to the save method. You have to implement this one as well. The HTTP request works, right? This constructor is must the HTTP request works. You have to implement this one, import this one, right? After that, what you're going to do is we have another when you click this save method, it goes to the TS file save method, right? Here, getting these values from the form, employee name from this one set into our database values, employee name, email and password. These are the fields in the database. We have to save the database. Okay, this is the fields we have set into the here. Postman also we already I show you the postman also there. Employee name, email over here. This fields we have set it here. Okay, this is the database fields. We have set it here. These form fields are there. This one. These form fields we have set it these forms. Okay, the form, this is the postman value, this employee name, email and password. You can look at the postman. This is the postman, this is the values you are setting to these form values. These are form values, employee name, email and password. Okay, it is passing to this particular URL to add the data into the database. So this is the URL I already showed you in my Spring Boot backend URL. Okay, your body data, response types, text, subscribe. Okay, when you add the data, it will be subscribed until the data get added into your database table, right? That's the thing you have to do. After that, you will get the message as employee registration successfully, right? Now let's check whether it's working fine or not. Save all. Back to my app component. This is the component where it will be working first. So how to, instead of the hello world, how to display the registration form? You go to the registration form component TS file. uh, TS file. Here you have to copy this one. This is selector. The selector copy back to the app component. Here you have to paste it here. Then this, when the power frame is loaded, this component will be loaded. Now let's check it back. I haven't saved it. Right here it's working. Why? It's a bootstrap style is not applied. So go to the relevant bootstrap website. Bootstrap. Go to the official website. You got copy this bootstrap clipboard back to here. Go to the index.html. This is the main file where it will be running. Paste inside the attack and file save all. Let's back to our application and check. Refresh them. Here your bootstrap style is applied. No problem. The bootstrap is applied, no problem. Right? Now here first what I'm going to do is here the form is a little bit you have to get form group, right? You have to container, we have set a container as well. That's the problem, right? Container, we have set it back into our bootstrap. The form is a little bit bigger. So go to the HTML. Here we have set it a div tag. Inside the div tag, the container, this one container, you have set it the style like this. Control save. Now I need to have one heading. Heading also we have to put it one card. Look, bootstrap card. This is the div close starter and close it. This is employee registration. Control S to save. Back it over here. It will be come look like nice, right? Now here, now you'll be able to register the user, right? So how to register the user? I'm going to register the jack@gmail.com. Password I'm going to type 123. Click save. Employee register successfully. Now let's back to our bootstrap. You can see here jack email. Here email your name, password. It will be the hash password. It will set. Perfect. It's working. Perfect. Right. Now I'm going to go to the registration part. Your login part. Registration part is over. Now let's back to our project. We already create the component login component. The same login h.html is all the file. Just Control C to copy. Back to our login.html. You paste them. Only the save. This one should be the employee login. Here we don't need the name field. We have to get rid of this line. This is email and password we need. Okay, you have to keep this one function. You have to the button function you have to call it as login here. After that, let's go back to our registration.ts file. Here, this all the things that we have copied. Only we have to copy these two things. Only, okay. Only thing you have to reuse them. This one we needed, right? Employee name, we now need them. We only check email and password, right? Email and password, you have to check them, whether the email address in password is correct or not, right? That's the thing you have to do. Now I just get them here over here. I will explain it, don't worry, this is what will provide you. Simple checking, right? Okay, now here, you can see here, let me go through the step by step. Here, what I did here is, we have to write routes. Here, what I did here is, you have to see when you enter the email address and password, click login button. It will be checked whether your username and password correct or not. Go to the TS file. There's a login button, login function. When you click the login button, we have put the console log. Console, we are testing purpose. You have to put it when the email is coming or not. Right here, we will be show you uh, login, right? So I'll be show you later on. Okay. So here we have received the email and password. Okay. When you receive the email and password over here, when you click button. Okay. This is a form email. It will be setting to the database here. Email and password. Whether it will be matching or not. So it goes to the respective API and will be tested, right? You will get the result. Okay, if the result message is getting, if there any error with the email, so this one we have already, this error you have to implement it in the backend. So you can go to the backend email. Here, this message I already implemented the backend as well. So you have the here, if there any problem with the email, if the result is you are getting this one, email is not exit, it will be getting the alert, email not exit. If the login successfully, it goes to the home route. So here, if there any problem that password do not match, here it will be getting this one as a here incorrect email and password not match, right? That's the three errors I implemented. Get the help of the front end, back end part. Okay, you have to understand this. Okay, that you have to get the message. Okay, get the message means this is a message. You have to get retrieving the message. I'll be showing you later. So first you have to implement this route as well. Route is important. Route also I implemented. So out it. We have to go app. We have to go to app route model.tss. So here I have just copy this file. We have to get this one. This is route. I have copied this all things, right? The route related things, right? Now here, what I'm going to do is these things I provide you. Don't worry. This is a route. You have to implement the routes. Then only it will be how to route it's working. When you configure route, go to the app routes model.ts. Go here. Go inside here. You can have a this here where you configure the routes. Here constant routes here. You have to configure the routes over here. Here you have to paste routes. So when the login is coming, login component, it's called a login component. It's called a login component over here. It's a home component. Home component I haven't written over here. I'll be make it now. Let's edit the register component. So home component. Let's create the home component as well. I'm going to create another component. Ng generate home. Okay, right? This when the login request is successfully login, it will be visited to the login component. That's why I have given the login component. I'm going to create the login component over here, right? It will be created here. Login component is created. Sorry, home component is created over here. Here you can see I'm going to message. I'm going to give us welcome. Right, that's it. Now let's save all. Back to our routes. To implement the home component. That's it. Right, that's the thing you have to done it over here. Then it or the login. Yes, here we have to provide this one as well. This constructor, we have to implement this one as a route as well here. As a constructor home.ts here. Here this constructor you have to implement the route. This route is you have to add the path. Then only the route still goes to and work the routes. So this one no need there, right? So that's the thing you have to write. It goes to the home/home dot this page. It will be visiting. Right now let's check it whether it's working fine or not. Save all. Now first you refresh it. Two things are loaded. Why what's happened? go to my routes folder, routes as routes. The problem coming from the app.html. Here I'm going to this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. We don't need them. Right. First, what I'm going to do is if you are this email is displayed when your page is displayed, the email is displayed. Why the email page is displayed over here? I given when the route is when the route go to the route upload routes here. When the path is coming the first time, login display. If it is slash home display, if it is slash register display. Right now here r1gmail.com. Here this already have this. Okay, it's welcome because the username and password correct. It's welcome. If there is any error, email not exist. Email is not exist. Okay. If there is any password mistake, incorrect email or password not match. Okay, it will be getting the error. Okay, right? If you are getting error, okay, email or password, it is working perfectly well. Now what I'm going to do is here right click and impact. It will be check the message here. The request is coming. The object is a message. This message I'm going to getting and check it the backend, front end. Okay, here you use check in the front end here. If the message is coming, email exit, this one, login success, go to that page. Otherwise, username and password do not match. This simple, these two and three errors I will mention over here. Very simple, right? Very simple, we are doing, right? When you register the page, you have got slash register. Register page is there. You will be able to register user raja@gmail.com. Password I am going to set 123. Register. Employee register successful. Perfect. Now if you go to the login page slash, it goes to the login page. Right, perfect. Okay, perfect. I hope you guys will understood so far. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, you can let me know. Thank you for watching.